Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify, Apple, or Google, please leave a 5-star rating and review. It supports the podcast and it doesn't cost you anything. This content is brought to you by Uphold, which makes crypto investing easy. I've been using Uphold for years, since 2017. They're one of my go-to exchanges. They have 10 plus million users, 250 plus cryptocurrencies, and they're available in 150 countries. If you'd like to learn more about Uphold, please visit the link in the description. Well, my friends, let's start off by looking at the price of Bitcoin because we've seen some high volatility over the past few days. Bitcoin had a flash crash to about $27,000. There were discussions about the Mt. Gox wallet and the US government Bitcoin wallets. You're doing some sort of activity. People are thinking that that could be the part of the sell-off. Who knows? It hasn't been 100% confirmed, but Bitcoin is sitting at $29,513. Ethereum at $1,913 right now. So the entire market is waiting to see what Bitcoin's going to do. And if we look at the chart I've been sharing with you guys for about a year now, which is mapping out Bitcoin's retracement back to about 40 to 50K, it looks like we're still on track. Despite this flash crash, guys, you just look at it, we see some green candles here. Bitcoin, once again, back over 29,000, and we could keep going up. But however, the bulls and the bears are fighting, and Bitcoin could move back down to 25K before ripping upwards to past 30K again. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm taking profits along the way. Certainly we'll be taking some nice, huge profits between the 38 to 40K range. And of course, the higher Bitcoin goes, the more liquidity will flow to altcoins, and we'll see a mini alt season. So I'm looking forward to that to take profits. And here, if we look at the Bitcoin chart, the daily Bitcoin chart with the Fibonacci pattern mapped out here, we see we're on track, guys, and it looks very similar to what took place in 2019. So let's see how things play out. Once again, there are no certainties here. There are no guarantees, but there are probabilities, and we have to look at what's the probability of the bullish scenario playing out versus the bearish. I believe the bullish scenario has the higher percentage of playing out here, similar to what we've seen, because we have hit the bottom and we're moving upwards now. So let's be patient. And once again, don't forget to take profits. Obviously not financial advice. I'm just sharing investment principles, and what I'm doing, you have to make your own decisions, do your own research, of course. Now, the big news of the day, my friends, Coinbase. They put out a response, a video response to the SEC's Wells notice. If you all recall, just about 2 weeks ago, Coinbase got a Wells notice from the SEC with an intent to sue Coinbase, and essentially saying Coinbase is listing securities, so which is completely asinine because the SEC green-lighted Coinbase to go public. And Coinbase has been, really the golden standard for exchanges in the U.S. They're the largest U.S. exchange. They've gone through a lot of regulatory hurdles, a lot of audits, a lot of reviews, right? There's a big process to go through to go public. And now the SEC is coming after them, which is crazy. But the great thing about Coinbase is they are going to fight, and I love it. This is what I've been talking about for a long time. In fact, the Coinbase is suing the SEC. Just this past week, they launched their lawsuit against the SEC, and they said they're ready to fight. So this video includes their CEO, Brian Armstrong, and Chief Legal Officer, Paul Grewal, who I interviewed about a month ago. And they really did a great job here, guys. Really, really did a great job. It's about a 14-minute long video. You can go watch it on their YouTube channel or on their website. And I think they did a masterful job here because they need to go on the offensive. They need to put content out there because just look at Gary Gensler's profile. Today, Gary tweeted out another anti-crypto video. So this man is putting together propaganda, and he's taking his time to do content because he knows the more he puts out, it fits his narrative. It helps change the narrative, right? That he wants, which is a false narrative, which is a narrative that does not apply to the law, but he's doing it, right? And this is why I've been telling you guys, call your representatives, tweet, make content, retweet things that expose the SEC and Gary Gensler, that spread the facts versus the lies coming from Gensler. So we need to do this, guys. We have social media to our advantage. So tweet out my content, tweet out other people's content. You do your own content as well. It's important. So they did a great job in this video. The TLDR is Brian starts off with his entrepreneurial story, talking about how he discovered Bitcoin and crypto, the benefits, and why he decided to start Coinbase in the United States. And looking towards how the United States has regulated and treated the technology in the past, innovative technology. And then Paul Grewal, he goes into the legal aspect, talking about the Wells notice is outlandish and it's crazy. The fact that the SEC is doing this after greenlighting Coinbase to go public. He calls out Chair Gensler by name. Really, really great stuff. I really like this. You guys should definitely check it out. Now, Paul tweets out the video, and he said that, after making the announcement that they're going to fight this, he said, at the time when we went public, we had detailed discussions with the SEC about the very aspects of our business that are now, 2 years later, the subject of the Wells notice. Nothing has changed. While the SEC claims the rules are clear, they clearly are not. The CFTC and the SEC have issued conflicting views. Courts have questioned the SEC's lack of guidance, and the SEC itself just last week couldn't answer basic questions before Congress. I wonder who he's talking about there. Good old corrupt Gary Gensler couldn't answer if Ethereum is a security or not, if XRP is a security or not. Gary is a clown and he needs to be fired. So Paul, did a masterful job here. Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, also tweeted out the video. He said Coinbase is going to keep building the most trusted products and services to update the financial system and create more economic freedom in the world. We are committed to building in the US and around the world. We will defend ourselves and stand up for the rule of law. So they did a great job just highlighting the hypocrisy, the lies of the SEC, and that they're ready to fight. So guys, go retweet these things, share it on different social platforms. Once again, we want to get the message out there. We want to outrank corrupt Gary Gensler, who's also putting out content, right? This is part. You have to do it, guys. This is how we fight back, right? So our voices can be heard. And social media doesn't cost you anything. It's on your phone. You can use it. So definitely, please do that. Now, attorney Jeremy Hogan, He retweeted Paul Grewal. He said, there's just no way to reconcile allowing Coinbase to sell shares of stock to the public and then turn around 2 years later and say the sales are all unlawful. That's not investor protection. It's a regulatory rug pull. Well said, attorney Jeremy Hogan. All right, guys. In addition to Gary Gensler putting out this content, Ron Hammond of the Blockchain Association gave some insight into this. For those keeping track, the last time the Financial Committee Services GOP Digital Assets Subcommittee held a hearing, SEC Gary Gensler put out a video on crypto moments before the hearing. This was last week, right? He does his little PR pushes on social media and so forth. Ron says, seeing the same playbook for today's hearing on market structure, which begins shortly. So there was a hearing today. So notice what Gary's doing. He ain't no dummy. He's corrupt and he's a scumbag, but he's not a dummy. He knows what he's doing. This is why, please, guys, share the videos, retweet, do what you got to do, get the news and the facts out there, right? We are in a war here, and Elizabeth Warren, Gary Gensler, Brad Sherman, these clowns are putting out false narratives. They're putting out a lot of lies. You saw Elizabeth Warren added to her campaign slogan. She's anti-crypto, right? And I've been told she's working on a bill. So we got to fight, my friends. Now, on the side of Operation Choke Point 2.0 and the debanking of crypto businesses, well, we have from the Financial Services GOP, Representative Patrick McHenry, Representative French Hill, and Representative Bill Huizenga are demanding information on prudential banking regulators' efforts to debank the digital asset ecosystem. So this is great, putting the pressure, getting more accountability, getting documents and communications to see, what was the game plan here? Because, Elizabeth Warren is behind this, right? And causing those bank runs, and then Gary Gensler and her trying to blame it on crypto, right? Which is ridiculous. So great to see that they're trying to get this information so we can get, shed some light on this situation. Now, despite all these things and these headwinds and craziness in the SEC, big players continue to expand and invest in the crypto industry. Fidelity doubles down on Metaverse with financial literacy experience. The company's latest efforts to reach younger investors where they are come after its debut in the sector last year. So you all may recall just about, I think it was in February, Fidelity launched their crypto trading services, right? They've been in the crypto industry for a while. And I think in 2018, they launched Fidelity Digital Assets, which is the section of their business which handles crypto. So the company is set to launch Pancake Empire Tower Tycoon on online gaming platform Roblox, as well as what it calls Bloom-O-Rama in Decentraland, it revealed Thursday. Decentraland users who visit Fidelity's Bloom-O-Rama will navigate a hedge maze to gather saving, spending, and investment tips, and taking quizzes along the way. Users can unlock a power pedal suit, BB's Boost Pack, BB Shades, and Bloomo Vision. It says here, those who complete Bloomo-Rama's task can win $25,000 via Fidelity Bloom, a financial app designed to help users grow their savings. So, a couple things here, folks. Fidelity branching out into other things like the metaverse. They want to have that first mover advantage, right? And there's going to be different metaverses. They're going the angle of financial education and saving and investing, right? Which is smart. That is what they do, the service they provide. And notice they're using Decentraland. And what is the native token for Decentraland? It's Mana, right, guys? And if you're holding that token, this is where you see, real world adoption from a massive $1 trillion TradFi company building here. And, this is just one aspect of their move towards crypto. So both launches come after the company created Fidelity Stack in Decentraland last year, a building comprising a dance floor and rooftop garden. That experience was introduced at the same time Fidelity listed 2 ETFs focused on the crypto industry and the metaverse. Here's a quote: "We apply a scan, try, and scale approach to innovation, and our experimentation with new platforms is no different," Fidelity marketing head Catherine Condon said in a Thursday statement. Folks, don't miss what's happening. The metaverse is not dead. It's just we have to get it right. And I think these companies are seeing that. It's like in the early 90s, exploring how should I set up my website? Should I use HTML? Should I use Flash? What web pages should I have, right? That was the thing back in the early 90s, companies going online. Then in the the late 2000s and into the 2010s, it was social media. Should we have a Facebook page? Should we build other functionality on the site, and yada, yada, right? Here, the metaverse and crypto is here. Let's start building and testing, trial and error, right? R&D, research and development. It's happening. When I see things like this from big investors, it makes me very bullish. Now, Galaxy links up with $821 billion asset manager as part of Europe ETP push. So Galaxy Digital, which is Mike Novogratz' firm, is no stranger to partnering with huge asset managers. This time, they're working with DWS to go after the European market. So we're seeing global expansions, acquisitions, mergers, partnerships. Guys, this is all healthy items for the maturing asset class. The alliance looks to enhance Galaxy's international distribution capabilities and extend its reach to what it considers to be a fast-growing region from a crypto lens, a company spokesperson told Blockworks. Here's a quote: "There has been continued demand amongst European investors for institutional-grade products that will enable them to access crypto markets in a cost-effective, simplified fashion using their brokerage accounts," the representative added. Here's another quote: "While these products are being quickly developed at scale in the US market, they have unfortunately lagged in the European markets. But guess what? They're not going to lag anymore. We just saw the MiCA law got approved, right? So regulations are opening up in Europe and these other countries, and things are going to start to move in the upwards direction for these other markets. Now, FTX to sell crypto derivatives platform LedgerX for $50 million. FTX had offered crypto derivatives to U.S. traders via LedgerX since 2021, about a year before Sam Bankman-Fried went bust. And they had purchased LedgerX, of course. It looks like they're looking to sell it. I don't know if anybody's going to buy it, though, because I wouldn't really want to touch anything from FTX. Now, if you can get it at a bargain price and you don't have to use the brand like LedgerX or FTX or anything like that, it makes sense. You just take the bits and pieces, the technology. Yeah, that might make sense. And you rebrand it. But, there's just so much negative narratives and feelings and thoughts and emotions around these things after the collapse and the fraud, the historical fraud committed by Sam Bankman-Fried. I wouldn't want to touch this. Now, speaking of FTX, the FBI raids home of former FTX exec Ryan Salame. This is per the New York Times. So looks like these guys are getting, the FBI and the different government agencies are going after them. So we'll see, what happens from there. Binance US enables Web3 domain creation for American users. Binance users based in the United States are now able to create Web3 domains that serve as digital identities in a new partnership with Unstoppable Domains. So once again, guys, more partnerships, more expansions. This is all great stuff. And eventually, like how all of you have emails and some of you have websites, eventually you'll all have a Web3 domain. That is the feature. And you can give that to people and they can send you any crypto and NFTs. And, there's going to be interoperability. These Web3 domains will support multiple blockchains. So you wouldn't even need to give them a specific wallet address. You just say, oh, send it to Tony at, I don't know, Tony.crypto, right? Or something like that. And they can just use that. That's the future. That's how the next, 2 billion people or whatever it may be are going to come on board, where they don't have to worry about these long cryptographically crazy wallet addresses. They can just, kind of plug and play the domains, or I should say the blockchains, like either they want to receive stuff in and be compatible with, and have their wallet addresses backed up and everything, or private keys, and then you just give that Tony.crypto or Joe.ethereum or something, and people will just send stuff there, and that'll be the way people will easily interact and send digital assets in crypto. So the new offering will allow users to mint .binance US domains, providing users with easily understandable names for cryptocurrency wallets to buy, sell, and transfer cryptocurrency in the Binance US app. These unique domains also serve as digital identity across compatible Web3 services, applications, and platforms. That's the future, my friends. Here, we got some news about Bitcoin mining. So Sustainable Bitcoin Protocol piloting a waste gas methodology with miner Crusoe Energy. Crypto miners like Crusoe use gas that could otherwise be wasted and minimize methane emissions. So we see the continued effort to improve Bitcoin mining and to find, wasted sources of energy that can be used and monetized via Bitcoin mining. So here's a quote: utilizing a third-party audit, SBP, which is a Sustainable Bitcoin Protocol, will verify that Crusoe's waste gas procurement and technology meets a standard that is verifiably reducing greenhouse gas emissions and an additive to the clean energy transition, the company said in a press release on Thursday. SBP worked with Crusoe and other parties to create a methodology, they told Coindesk. SBP is a startup looking to create a market-based mechanism that incentivizes Bitcoin miners to make their operations more sustainable. This is a smart move on their part as crypto goes more green and they use more cleaner energy. There is already a big shift in that, right? To move away from old, dirty energy, so to speak, and make Bitcoin more sustainable. So they work with third parties to audit miners' operations, and if they meet their standards, clear them for the issuance of sustainable Bitcoin certificates. One on-chain SBC asset is issued for every Bitcoin mined sustainably and can be traded. Investors could buy these to make ESG claims about their Bitcoin holdings. This is a smart move because as these big investors get involved, they're going to want to get these certificates and, okay, their Bitcoin was mined with clean energy and so forth. Now, final item here on Bitcoin, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz was at the Bitcoin Policy Summit, and he made some bullish statements. And by no means is this an endorsement of Ted Cruz. I don't care in particular for Ted Cruz. There are people who hate him. There are people who love him. I'm not taking any sides here, but I want to share what the man said. He said, I'm incredibly bullish on Bitcoin specifically. I own a little more than 2 Bitcoin, and every Monday I own a little bit more. I bought the dip. That's big for a U.S. congressman to say these things. Really, really big, folks. The tide is changing, and I'm very, very bullish on all these things that are happening. All right, guys. That's the news. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.